When I asked my wife about her male best friend, she said something that completely changed my world. I still remember that night clearly. We were sitting quietly in the living room while the rain fell softly outside. For months, something had been bothering me. My wife had been spending more and more time with her male best friend, Jake, at first. I ignored it because she told me they had been friends since college. And I believed trust was important in a marriage. But slowly things started to feel different. She was always texting him, smiling at her phone, and sometimes even canceling our plans just to meet him. I tried not to overthink it, but the feeling in my heart kept getting heavier. That night, I finally gathered the courage to talk to her. I calmly told her that I felt uncomfortable with how close she had become with Jake, and that it was starting to hurt our relationship. For a moment, she just stared at me, and then she laughed. She said I was overreacting and that Jake was just a friend. But then she looked straight at me and said something that completely shocked me. "You're only jealous because he's bigger." In set momentet sein. And I realized that sometimes a single sentence can destroy years of trust. That sentence kept echoing in my mind long after the room went silent. I didn't know what hurt more. The words themselves or the way she said them so casually. Like my feelings meant nothing. For a moment, I just sat there, staring at the floor, trying to process what had just happened. This was the woman I had built my life with. The person I trusted more than anyone else. Yet in that moment, it felt like I was sitting next to a stranger. I wanted to argue back, to defend myself, to explain that I wasn't jealous of anyone. I was simply asking for respect in my own marriage. But something inside me stopped me. Instead of raising my voice, I stayed quiet. Sometimes silence says more than any argument ever could. She went back to scrolling on her phone, as if the conversation was already over. While I sat there realizing that the problem wasn't just Jake. The real problem was that the respect between us had started to disappear. And once that begins to fade, a relationship slowly starts falling apart without either person noticing it at first. After that night, I began noticing things I had ignored before. The way she laughed at his messages. The way she seemed excited just talking about him. Even small things like mentioning his name. Casually in our conversations. It all started to feel like salt on an open wound. I tried to focus on myself, to not let it control my thoughts, but it was everywhere. I spent more time working, going to the gym, and keeping busy, hoping to distract myself from the growing pain. Yet, every time I saw her smile at her phone, a part of me still ached. I realized then that it wasn't just about jealousy anymore. It was about feeling invisible in my own marriage. About seeing the person I loved prioritize someone else. And knowing that no matter how much I tried, I couldn't force her to see the hurt she was causing. The distance between us grew, quiet but undeniable. And I knew that things could never go back to the way they were before. One evening, everything finally came to a head. She came home upset and crying, talking about how Jake had been dishonest with her, flirting with other women behind her back, and ignoring her when she confronted him. For the first time, I saw regret in her eyes. She wanted my support, my comfort, the same thing she had dismissed for months. But by now, I had changed. I listened quietly, not because I had forgiven her, but because I wanted her to truly understand the consequences of her actions. I calmly told her I wasn't jealous. I was asking for respect. She finally realized that the trust and respect she had taken for granted were fragile and could be broken. That night, I understood a hard truth. Love alone cannot fix a relationship when respect has been lost. And sometimes, letting go is the only way to protect your own heart. The marriage might still exist in name, but the bond we once shared was forever altered. From that point on, I focused on myself, my growth, and my peace, knowing that some lessons are learned only through pain. And some people reveal their true colors when you least expect it.